It's always so quiet here. Except for the air conditioner being on. That's never quiet. Are we going or are we not? Hello? Ah, there we go. We're going. Hi. Hello, me echoing into my own stream. Alright. So, it's my day. Happy I'm old day. I have come to a bit of a realization, and I think I'm going to start off stream by talking about that, because I think it's probably best that we don't interrupt our sandwiches with it. But, last stream went way smoother than I thought it would with the last chunk of Donkey Kong Country Returns HD's mirror mode. I thought we were going to be stuck on the final boss for over an hour, and then, you know, we split the rest of... Maybe do like 1 or 2 levels in World 9 and then do the rest today. But then it turns out I beat the final boss in about 20 minutes. So I'm like, okay, you know what? It's supposed to be a difficult thing. Let's do the other difficult thing. And I did the very final level, 9-9, which is the original bonus level from the Wii version. And not only did I almost complete it on my first try, I also beat that in like 15 minutes. I think the reason those went a lot smoother than I thought they would is because I ended up playing both those as just DK anyway. I didn't have any... I had some sources of healing, but they weren't super consistent, I guess. The final boss strip freaking trolls you with hearts. Because, like, you want the heart? Come land on the hand and get a heart. Oh, I got ya! Oh, I got ya! But, you know, then the very final bonus level doesn't even give you a tag barrel to get some extra help. It's just DK otherwise. And as a result, I've already done both of those as basically just DK anyway. So the mirror mode challenge wasn't really much of a challenge, per se. So that's why I went a lot smoother. And I was able to beat everything else so quickly that I had time to do a few more time trials and just put something there before the end. And now we're here when I should be playing World 9. And that's all well and good and all that, don't get me wrong. But it is funny that today, once again, we are doing Dudunsparce. Because if we go in our boxes and check this Dudunsparce right here, you'll notice it has the Destiny mark from exactly a year ago. I shiny hunted Dudunsparce on my birthday last year as well. It's happened twice in a row. I came to this realization literally last night as I was laying in bed trying to go to sleep. I'm not meaning to shiny hunt on my birthday consecutively, but it happened, I guess. Hi, Vix. Glad you can make it. I was not expecting this. I remembered I had this from last year, and here we are. This was not the surprise, by the way. I said I would start the stream off with a surprise, completely forgetting that I shiny hunted Dudunsparce last year on this very day. The real surprise, not these, but it's kind of like a tertiary thing. This is because we're doing this next week, and this is because I had some funds left over, and this was on sale, and I think it'd make Wanya happy. But the real surprise, if we go in the album, I loaded up Legend ZA once again, just to shiny hunt a Mawile. And I got it in 553 encounters, and I still don't have the shiny charm because I'm not grinding out those battles. But yeah, the reason I was shiny hunting Mawile is because I'm currently in an async, called Penance. It was sort of spin-off of the Perseverance thing we've currently been doing. And this time it was meant to be, in quotes, a speedrun. But because we're meant to do it fast, we ultimately were like, okay, let's just not use hints at all. And it's been going on for like 4 months, and it's been an absolute disaster. And I'd already had my Pokemon Emerald slot in that nerfed because I turned off experience and made random types of thing because it was meant to be turn up everything to max difficulty and go. Big mistake. So I already had to get my slot nerfed by just getting a bunch of nuggets just cheated in basically so I can get money to get Pokeballs and shit. And then that helped for a while, and then eventually I was able to get the event tickets and got some level 70 Pokemon and all was good. But I'm not done with that slot yet because I need the Mind Badge to use Dive to access the last gym. That's the one thing blocking me from beating the game. But because hints are disabled, the leader of the whole operation, who is, by the way, the group leader I've mentioned before, and is part of the reason why I have a Switch 2, she says that, like, hey, you gotta do, everyone who wants a hint has to do some form of challenge in order to earn a hint. Because this whole turning off hints thing was a massive mistake, and I would turn the hint cost down, but I once again lost the admin console. This is a common trend for all the Perseverance runs, it seems. P3 is gonna be an absolute mess because it's gonna be like a year long. And it's gonna do that like the 2-month mark and we're gonna be sad. But I was originally gonna just do some full odds shiny hunting in the Emerald slot, but she was like, I want you to actually be able to keep the shiny, so see if you can find a Mawile somewhere. And I chose Legend ZA because we came to an agreement. Because this is the news given as a Mawile in it. Because Gen 9 didn't have it. I would have loved to use Sandwich Power, but no. But also, you may have noticed Mega Mawile exists. And Mega Mawile is kind of the mascot of her whole online persona of sorts. To the point where she has her own she made another async separate from Perseverance, just based solely around Mawile. So we agreed to just do it here, especially because I don't have the shiny charm yet. And then I got the shiny in like 3 hours, just going back and forth near these rooftops. Again, 553 total encounters. 555, I believe, if you count the 2 in the back, but I don't, because this was closer and spawned first. Semantics are fun. But yeah, this is the one bit of Legend ZA that I have not streamed, and now you know the context, and I can add another shiny to the list, and I'm probably not shiny hunting in this way ever again, because it's actually kind of boring. This is the one good spot to shiny hunt for Mawile if you don't have the DLC, and even then, there's no guarantee you'd find Mawile in the freaking hyperspace stuff, I don't think. So, yeah. It's fine. Okay, it's fine. I got my Mind Badge hint. It revolves around another person basically beating the game, but that's fine. It's to be expected. It's my go mode, and we're moving on. It's been almost 10 minutes, and I get to make a sandwich. So yeah, that's what I've been generally up to. But now it's time for the main event. Now it's time for us to get shinies. So, my normal recipe is actually very, inefficient with its ingredients. Apparently, if I remember how the recipe worked from the end of the last Dudunsparce stream, which was between, beating DKC Returns HD normally and the start of Mirror Mode, It's 1 fried fillet. And I believe any 2 herba mystica, except you can't do this, or this, or this. But I think like this and this is okay, for example. Actually, I should... I saved here. Nothing's changed. I think I'm safe to just do a reset if this fails. But I think... do a salty one. I think this recipe will work to give us the same boost with less ingredients. Which overall makes it more efficient, and I can actually use my sour herba mystica because the other recipe literally mentions that you can't use sour at all or it messes with the recipe. It messes with your buffs and you don't get the encounter power. Which kind of defeats the point. So, fingers crossed that this works. And we'll just go from there. Also, it's incredibly easy, and I can put the bread on top and have no risk. It's super simple. It's super simple. Assuming I have the recipe correct. And I hope I do. Also, I saw your reaction to Pikuniku Bed. You typed in Japanese like on the title there. Good job. It was nice. Words. Yeah, look at that. The same exact effects off of a much simpler sandwich. And it looks just as terrible. Look at how stiff the bread looks, dude. It looks so dumb. Alright. But yeah, that's going to be our new sandwich from here on out. It's faster to make. No worries about anything toppling over. And I get the same effects out of it while also being able to use my sour. So, I have the Japanese keyboard installed on my phone as well. And that was because I was actually using Duolingo years ago. Back before it was even worse than it already was. And then, you know, I stopped using Duolingo, and then I just kind of... I'm using the wrong entrance. We cannot use this entrance anymore. In reality, we have to use Station 4 because there's so many other spawns in the way. For max effectiveness, we actually want to go to 4, leave here, and make a right. We're going to be in this chunk for the entire sandwich. We're just going to be in this section right here. So my normal route is basically shortened to just a little loop around here. Because this is where the most spawns show up across the entirety of Area 0. And I can just loop around. Any Dudunsparces that notice me will start digging and despawn. The Dudunsparces might pile up a little bit, but I could also just bring in Skeletors to wipe them out. And we're just going to be doing this in half-hour increments. And I believe the total encounter is slightly higher than my normal route of just going through the entirety of Area 0 by doing this. And it's already paying off. The best part is, shinies don't dig. The shinies will actually just run away from you. So they're a lot easier to spot and will not despawn in the crowd. Make it a lot easier to actually encounter them. So that's cool. So I think this will actually be our main method of getting the shinies here from now on, until we eventually get the 3 segment. Which I'm not sure when it's gonna happen, but if things keep going this well, it's gonna be pretty quick, huh? Given how my luck was extremely good with the Mawile, there's a chance that things go really well today as well. And the best part is, I get the freaking Destiny mark as well. It's 3 in 25 chance I get the Destiny mark on the shiny as well, which is really freaking cool. It was meant to be. So if I get the 3 segment and it happens to have that mark, I am going to scream. Because that'll be the game being like, happy birthday! Here's a thing for you! And I'd be very happy. And it'd be the best. And it'd be the greatest finale to Dudunsparce as well. So it'd be great. It'd be a great little bookend, and that'd be really nice. Of course, my odds are not necessarily the greatest, but hey, it's a chance, and I like those odds. I like those odds. Thank you. If you want to learn Japanese, I recommend Renshu. Never heard of it. I might check that out. If I show major interest in learning Japanese again. But yeah, we have reached the point in the Dudunsparce streams where it's once again another Friday, and all the interesting stuff was talked about on Thursday. Well, I was just needing to fill in time basically on Donkey Kong because I needed something to talk about. We were just doing retreads, and all the hard stuff was done, so I couldn't just lock in and be, fine with that. There's more to it than that. And then I told the whole story about the weird arcade, college, backrooms thing in my dreams because I have weird dreams. Didn't really have a weird one last night, unfortunately, so I cannot continue in that sort of realm. If it was anything worth remembering, I would probably, share it. I'd be like, this cool funny dream I had, where, I don't even know how to friggin' improvise a bit there, because, like, I can't make it sound, I don't know, natural? As if dreams can be natural? I've mentioned a few of my dreams on stream before because they've just been fascinating little stories, really. A lot of times involving me exploring. But, I can't just reuse the same old material. That'd be insane. I would just be doing a repost. You don't do that here. I already repeat myself enough as is during these. I might want to mess with the settings a little. By default, it was multiple choice questions and introduced new terms at a very rapid rate. Good to know. If I know anything about, well, long story short, I wanted to kind of link that back to Splatoon and how Salmon Run kind of forces you up in the higher ranks way too fast and overwhelms you, and it just becomes fun enemy spam, and no one has any idea how to counter it, and it's pain. So yeah, I understand the idea of things going too fast, and I need to slow down a little bit. So yeah, but that's fine. Thanks for the heads up. Change question, the typing-based ones reduce their new terms. Yeah. I figured as much. Does it allow for Klingon, though? Because that's a language you can learn in Duolingo, apparently. I tried that out a while back as well during the whole I want to try learning Japanese phase that I had. And I wanted to do the thing. No, I'm stuck in the voice. The funny! But yeah, I'll look into it. Apparently the Japanese Sonic Twitter did another teaser thing with Sonic Heroes, apparently. It's apparently been like a small trend where anytime Sonic Heroes shows up in like a montage, it goes to static or something. And it's weird. And apparently this one, if you like mess with it enough, it kind of looks like the scales of a lizard. I don't know. I don't know, but you know, we're kind of overanalyzing things again because we're desperate for a new game. And Frontiers Definitive Edition just seems to be a Switch 2 edition, which is weird. Especially considering that Frontiers as a whole across all platforms was lowered in price. Because it was meant to be a thing for everyone. So yeah, that's kind of weird. So, yeah. Um, I saw that people were showing a lot of interest in the Star Fox reboot, remake thing, because it's funny. They released a demo and everyone seemed to love it. And then it started, Nola Perimeter started selling really well. That's weird. Digitally and physically, everyone's pre-ordering that game like crazy. It's weird. It's almost like you could try before you buy. It's amazing. I still hope for the Star Fox fans out there that there's an original game at some point again. And we can stop making jokes about how they're just remaking Star Fox 64 again and again and again. And now I am out of discussion topics. That's it. This is gonna be a stream. This is gonna be a very Dunsparce filled stream. I really wish I came more prepared. But this happens a lot. This happens a lot. This is the reason why I don't normally do 2 in a row for Dunsparce. The thing is, if I actually would have noted down the dream properly, I could have probably saved it to this, and that would have been a nice half hour. Though we're laughing at everything, but like, I had to use it on Donkey Kong. So, you got anything, Vix? Haven't really been seeing anything in terms of other gaming news. No other events are really happening. Any big birthday celebration is going to be more towards the weekends because everyone's busy. No real big things happening now. One last quick comment on Renzu. You can set to introduce new terms on a weekly basis instead of the default daily terms. Ooh. That's very neat. I'm kind of surprised that's not the default, but sure. Oh, I was noticing as I was going to the eShop, after I got the Kirby Switch 2 upgrade and Pikuniku, I still had a couple dollars left from the $25 eShop card, and I just wanted to use them on something. So I was looking for things that costed around like $3, and my god, the search is super awful on eShop, to where it only shows you the top 1,000 results in your current like sorted stuff. You can't search for a very specific price, only a price range. And most of the eShop at low prices is just AI slop. And it made me so sad. So I didn't find anything else I wanted at the current time. And there's nothing really on sale that I wanted either. So I guess I'm just going to use it as like a $3 discount on whatever other thing I get on the eShop eventually. You know, whenever that happens, I guess. I don't really get stuff on the eShop too often. I'm more of a physical guy. I like to own the things and hold them in my hands and be like, look at this thing I physically have. So, you know, I'm kind of picky about that sort of thing. But yeah. Default's like 20 new terms a day? Are you kidding me? That is insane. That in of itself is absolutely insane. What the hell? You have $70 of gift cards lying around? Yeah, that's the thing. I've actually been kind of putting off actually using the gift card. Because that was actually part of a Christmas gift I got, I guess last year, I suppose fits. This past Christmas, I suppose. I just hadn't used it yet. And I wasn't fully sure what I was going to use it on. I was hoping I could use it on the Legend of ZA DLC and just go right into streaming that, I guess, but, you know, DLC's $30, not $25. Like, okay. Because if I use the gift card, I'd rather either be for one thing by itself, kind of like the game voucher system they used to do. I'm pretty sure they discontinued that. That makes me sad. But there's that system, and then it's either doing something like that or trying to get multiple games. And then with the Kirby Switch upgrade being $20 and Piku Niku being on sale, it came out to around $22. I was like, perfect. I thought I'd be able to find something cheap or on sale that I'd be able to get as well with the rest of the funds, just to use the whole card up. But, the eShop's just kind of loaded with garbage, and Nintendo's doing nothing about it. It makes me sad. If the eShop is comparable to the freaking App Store in terms of just garbage, most was probably vibe-coded. There are multiple games on the eShop that cost like $2 that are straight up mobile games you'd find for free on the App Store. Super basic, no imagination, barely any texturing. It's just nothing. It's something you'd find for free that would just throw a shit ton of ads at you on your freaking iPhone. It's pathetic. But because you can't do ads on Nintendo Switch, so you have to make it a $2 game instead. It's the same kind of shit. It's either that or like freaking AI generated garbage, and no one likes that crap. Like, if I searched from... You can only search from, like, 1 cent to $9.99, right? If you sort from highest price to lowest, the entirety of the results it lets you have are all in the $9.99, like, old $9.99. If you sort in the other direction, it's most of that slop I was telling you about. And it stops at around, like, the, like, $2.50 mark. And that's not... That's when the DLC turned off. DLC bloats it even more. Because there are a lot of games that have, like, costumes or, like, small DLCs you can get for, like, $1. So, like, Smash, you can get the Mii skins for, like, $2 each. Or something like that. So, like... That's a thing. So, I disabled the DLC in the listings, and it's still full of crap. And then I just went by bestsellers, and everything was too expensive. And for some reason, a little bit of AI slop was still there too, because I guess it's a meme. So, like, I'll just keep my eyes out for more sales of smaller games like Piku Niku, and see if I can pick something up later. I know Nintendo has this whole thing where they never do sales themselves, but even then, like, nothing of theirs, I think, would ever fall in the $3 range. It'd be nice if something of theirs went down to like the $20 range back with the Nintendo Selects thing. Remember that? Back in like the Wii U, 3DS era? Games that would sell pretty well would get their price low to $20. The Nintendo Selects line. That's how we got Pikmin 2 on Wii here in the States. Mario Galaxy was there. Honestly, a lot of Mario things ended up being put on that Nintendo Selects thing. It was neat. I liked it. And now they don't do it anymore. Now you're playing full price, if not more, and it's a bit sad. Because Nintendo never puts things on sale anymore, and they never cheapen their freaking games. Because that time's behind us now, I guess. Getting rid of gold points and the game vouchers and... Meh. So I don't know. It took 9 years to actually buy anything? Fair. That's very fair. I'm guessing these gift cards aren't just for eShop. I'm guessing they're for, like, general stores and whatnot. Like, someone gives you a gift card to Macy's and you're like, I guess I'll use it sometime. I remember years ago I got a gift card to GameStop, and I think I just mainly used it to get an extra Wii remote that was used. For some reason, the battery's still in it, and they were all corroded, and it was... poor quality control on GameStop's part. Really? So, yeah. Some notes in the eShop, 152 okay. It helps if I actually read the entirety of the chat backlog instead of being distracted looking at Dudunsparce for 10 minutes. But yeah, I was kind of debating it too, being like, okay, I do want to use this because, you know, I have it. But I don't want to just use it as a discount for something. It's like, I don't want a gift card to feel like a coupon. If that makes any sense. I know it's kind of a weird way of putting it, but like, I'd rather, if I have the funds, be able to use them exclusively for stuff. One for the PlayStation Store, and you don't have a PlayStation because it's a second-hand PS3. Well, is the store still open for PS3, or did they shut that down? I don't know. You might be able to find something on there. Like, I don't know, get Sonic Unleashed or something. Get some of the DLC for that. There you go. It's something! I don't own a PlayStation either, so I have like no idea for recommendations. So... I am of the mind that I should eventually, if I stumble across like a PS2 at a good price at a thrift store, just pick one up there. And then get PS2 games from thrift stores as well. It's like, hey, I can experience more of the games I never played growing up because I was a guy who had exclusive Nintendo things. But you know, it'd be kind of nice to also have a little bit of diversity in my games as well. In terms of just different consoles, different genres, I suppose. And I figure because PS2 games tend to show up in thrift stores more than the other consoles. I find some Wii games, and like, the problem is most Wii games I find at thrift stores are fitness games or sports. And I don't really care for either of those styles of game. Because, like, Wii Fit's enough for me. I don't need anything else in that sort of realm. I don't need freaking... what is it? Zumba? Like, whatever. I don't need that. Then sports... I think my half-brother gave me a copy of, like, what was it, Madden '09 or something? No, it wasn't '09. Definitely later than that. There was a Madden game on the Wii, and I tried playing that, and I just could not get my head around it. I'm not really a guy who understands football. So, I played it for a collective like 6 hours trying, and I think half of that was just me letting the game play itself. So I think there's an option for letting the game do that. And I would just sit back and watch, because, like, the game knows better than me. I don't know what all of these plays mean. That was kind of funny, but, like, I generally not want to do that sort of thing again. Unless it's Mario, maybe. Because Mario at least puts a more cartoony spin on it and tries to simplify it a bit to make it generally make sense. And even then Mario tries to go for more casual games anyway, because, like, tennis, baseball, soccer, a lot less complicated than football. So, there's that. But, like, that's all I really refined for Wii stuff. Like, if I'm lucky, I'll find something like Sonic and the Secret Rings, which I have picked up, and I'm mainly just picking that up because it's a Sonic game I don't have yet. I understand it's infamy for the motion controls, but I got the party game that's on the disc as well. It's also actually pretty good. You know, for, like, bonus feature side game shenanigans, you know. And it's at least better than the main mode. It's something. Let's see. But, like, PS2 games tend to show up a lot more commonly at thrift stores. So if I had a PS2, I would have that whole library open to me. And PS2 being the best-selling console of all time, even as of now, there's a lot of people who have games for that. And, you know, they may want to get rid of some of them. Hence why they're so common in thrift stores. It's like I go to thrift stores and they have like these big walls of DVDs and video games and stuff. Especially flea markets. They tend to have like whole booths dedicated to that sort of thing. And my god, like, specifically PS2 dominates in terms of how much stuff is on those shelves. You might get some PS3s and stuff in there as well. It's a lot of PlayStation, generally. Not PS1, not PS4, definitely not PS5, because PS5 has no games. But, like, PS2, some PS3, surprisingly common at thrift stores. So, like, you know. Plus, I would love to be able to have a copy of Ratatouille for PS2, because that's a console version of the Ratatouille game that Wanye speedruns. And I thought that'd be... And, you know, I wouldn't be able to play it on my laptop because there's no fucking disk drive. Because laptops stopped having disk drives in, like, 2015. Because these big companies wanted to kill off physical media basically as soon as possible. It's annoying. It's freaking annoying. Oh well, it's just how the world fucking is, I guess. Yeah. I wonder if we'll get like a physical media renaissance at some point, especially with the Stop Killing Games movement reaching a breaking point. Because the EU gets friggin' talked to by Ubisoft behind closed doors, and suddenly like, yeah, we're not gonna do that, and we're just gonna say your entertainment is not actually owned by you. So, you know, that's not good. So I think it's gonna be a whole renaissance of physical media as a result, just to stick it to Ubisoft for fucking up everything. I'll look at chat in a minute. I know you've been typing about the PlayStation. I'll look in a second. Oh, look now. You already own Unleashed for Xbox. Fair enough. But surely you can find something on the PS3 store if it's still up. Right? You could get the original PS3 model that plays PS2 and PS1. Like OG PS3. It's like not a slim. I would assume they have a slim like PS2 does. I know PS2 generally has PS1 compatibility as well, but A, it's not fully perfect, and B, it's also only in some models as well. I don't know the exact, like, numbering on the model or anything to keep my eye out for it. And even then, I think a PS2 would be cheaper. So, I'm not clamoring to try to find a PS3 or anything. Again, this is only if I happen to find a PS2. You know? Some of the later models get shaky with PS2 support, but all PS3 support PS1. Okay. All of them support PS1 at least. That's good to know. The slim models vary in terms of PS2. That okay. I guess it has something to do with them in order to slim down the model, and because everyone still probably had their PS2s anyway. Because it sold so damn well. They probably took some of the bits that were doing the PS2 stuff and took them out. Just so they could slim the thing down a little bit. And because the PS1 takes so much less power to emulate, or just run, I guess, that it's just like, yeah, we could have this like one little chip do it, it's fine. I don't know the specifics when it comes to how some consoles do backwards compatibility. I know the Switch 2 when it comes to Switch 1 games, I know it's emulation. They have an emulator built in that does Switch 1 stuff. I think the 3DS is also like that with the DS, and I kind of gaslit myself on a little bit of Mario Luigi Partners in Time. Because I swear to God, in Thwomp Volcano, there's a bit where stuff will pop out and talk to you, and going down the volcano, you stop in one of the blocks. And I swear, like, the first time it still shows up, I swear to God, there's like a second time in the middle stage it doesn't happen. Either it doesn't happen on 3DS, or I gaslit myself. Mandela effect and whatnot. You know. That's a sandwich, and I guess my luck was a little better than normal. I got 3, better than 2. Got a little bit more just in case. We still have some spawns left over. But it seems that... Oh! Yeah, I think we're all out. Alright! We'll check in then these guys are shiny either, because, you know, almost flew away from a freaking shiny low kicks once. I just happened to see it as I was about to warp away. Alright! Yeah, it's just 3 Dudunsparce. PS3 store's dead. Oof. Okay. That's a problem then. As long as the PS3 isn't a slam, it should work with PS2. Okay. Good to know. Let's see. We'll go with nature's... We'll do adamant, timid, and... Careful? Yeah, careful. We'll do careful. Jolly, mild, naive. But I got a destiny mark! Hey! Alright. It's a good... I gotta put the moves on it first. I keep forgetting I have to unlearn... I have to unlearn one of the moves and put Hyperdrill back on it. I keep forgetting that! Why do I keep forgetting that? So dumb. Alright, there we go. My God. Now we go in the bag. And where we go. It happens. I don't remember if it happened in the earlier Dudunsparce streams, but it's definitely been happening in the last few, where I just forget to learn the move on it. There's lots behind having Hyper Drill on it, and that's been messing with me. So, nah. It gets me every time! No. And then our last one. Roll 110. Will you be the lucky one? You're the one with the mark. No. Okay. Imagine if that one did do the 3 segment and I freaking called it like half an hour ago, and I would just scream. I would just absolutely scream about that. Alright, save our game, and then we do another round, baby! Yeah, I think this method's actually pretty nice. It's definitely a lot more mindless, but not too mindless. It's a nice balance. Next, sour. We do salty again, because that worked. Delay. Pop. Pick. You put it in place, you keep the hand there, you just mash the A button, you're good. It's free. So much easier. It's so much easier, dude. I can't believe I didn't bother to check sooner. I probably did and forgot. Knowing me, but like, screw it. I see it now. It's always been inside of me, and now I feel so free. It was possibility. Alright. Let's do it. Sandwich number 2. Well, unfortunate about the PS3 store showing down, so you can't actually use the card. I probably wouldn't be using it either, because I'm not going to get a modern PlayStation or anything. I'd probably stick with one of the earlier ones. Honestly, I was thinking PS2 would be enough, but if you say go with PS3, then I'll check our PS3 as well. Preferably not a Slim. I'll think about it. I still also have to get the freaking Game Wave repaired. Because it has a blown capacitor. Like, I have no idea how to do that, and I wanted my uncle to do it, but he was away, and he was halfway across the country at the time. I don't think I ever really... I think I might have asked him once around Christmas. I think we brought it up at that point, and he was like, "What is this thing?" So right now, the Game Wave's just been sitting here for about a year at this point. Just gathering dust and being a freaking novelty item, I suppose. It doesn't do anything. And I wish it did, because I want to stream Game Wave stuff for you guys. It'd be fun. I think you guys would like it. It's neat. But of course, I'm going to do that anyway. I also have to get a freaking AV to HDMI converter. So like, it wouldn't be the most optimal thing in the world, I guess. But like, I want to do it. And then after I'm done streaming it, like, I can then just hook it up upstairs and Mom can play with it. Because all the games on the system are super casual. Like, she could totally handle these games. One of them is basically Yacht Dice. Like, if she can't handle playing Yahtzee or Sudoku, then we're gonna have problems. Because, you know, my family hasn't exactly been the greatest when it comes to, video games. I tried to get him to play Kirby. It did not go well. It was sad. But, like, the Game Wave, especially when that was marketed basically to people like Mom, like, it has to be, like, her perfect console, man. Not to mention, it would make a great backup DVD player. Because it can play DVDs. It's half of the point. But, funnily enough, I have been watching, I've been keeping somewhat close tabs on someone actually working on an emulator. And I say working in quotes because a lot of it's actually being run through Claude AI, which is unfortunate. He says he's been mainly doing it so it can handle reading memory addresses, which... Sure? I don't trust it. But, like, he did so many queries on the thing that, like, that freaking safety thing on Claw was just shut him down. Just like, you've been asking a lot about accessing memory on this console I've never heard of. You sure you're not doing anything suspicious? And it shut him down. Kind of deserve for relying on AI for this sort of thing. I'm all for game preservation and making these games more accessible because, you know, I'm living proof of this. That the hardware itself was made back in the Xbox days, and those capacitors were terrible. They're known for just breaking, basically. Just the major leaks. Luckily, the capacitor that broke in here is not leaking or anything, so it's not damaging the actual console itself, to my knowledge. It just gets stuck in a weird circuit loop, I guess, where it kind of like turns on and off, goes like click, 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 click. But it won't load or anything. But at least from what I can tell, the motherboard isn't damaged, so there's a chance I could repair the thing eventually. I do not have a soldering iron or the appropriate capacitor replacement. And I have never dealt with hardware before in my life. And in case you're wondering, I can assure you the guy who's doing the thing with Claude AI is doing it for the game wave because he learned how to do freaking memory code injection stuff to just repeatedly add sprites of Bob the Tomato. And it works. And specifically the one VeggieTales game works on it. But, like, I don't trust the thing. I'd prefer it if it was made fully with human hands and not with vibe coding, because you know how bad that could turn out. It'd be kind of rough. So, you know, if anyone wants to actually try to make an emulator without using Claude AI or ChatGPT or anything, be my guest! I would love to see it! And because of the fact this thing probably has the processing power of a baked potato, it'd run on my laptop so I could test it for you. Looking through the eShop new discussion and found a game for a franchise only heard of a few times. It's $180 for an Ultimate Edition. Huh. Well then. I'm not gonna be able to do anything with that for $3. Seems like there's a bit of a gap in pricing there. That's a I don't think I quite have that in the budget today. I miss gold points. When they announced they were shutting down the gold point system, I made sure to use what gold points I had left. And I think I used them to get the Switch version of Overcooked and I think Uno. And my god, Uno is freaking terrible on the Switch. It's not the greatest on PC either. It's freaking Ubisoft, what do you expect? But like, it was cheap, I like Uno. Be nice to have something portable, I suppose, because, you know, and then carrying around my freaking laptop everywhere. But like, servers are garbage, and the connection freezes up all the damn time on it. It's so ass. Do not get Uno for Switch. I don't care that it has Twitch integration for some ungodly reason, but yeah. Also, last time I loaded it up, it was for some reason in Polish. I don't remember setting it to Polish, but the game was just randomly in Polish. I was able to set it back to English fine, but that was an experience. So yeah, don't get that. But I do have Overcooked as well. But now I'm in a similar boat, where I have basically that much in terms of freaking eShop credit, and I can't do a thing with it. Nah. Was dragging towards the AI could yeah. It's bad everywhere. I feel like the PC version is a little bit better. Like, The only really annoying thing I remember about the PC version of Uno is that I had to actually manually port forward the thing for online to work, which is a little annoying. But, like, the servers at least ran better than the Switch version. So, cool. You shouldn't expect much from Ubisoft, but also it's like $5. So, like, it's not like I didn't have much in terms of gold points left. Oftentimes I forgot about claiming the points before they would expire anyway, whenever I get a new game regardless, so, you know, probably half of them went to waste regardless anyway, so, like, who cares? But, like, if you want to get a version of Uno, like, you could do worse than the PC version, I guess. I guess it's a little annoying you have to hook it up through freaking Ubisoft's Uplay system. Like, eh. It's still better on PC than it is on Switch. So, kind of regretting that, but I used gold points on it, so it's not like I was really losing anything from the deal. So I suppose it could be worse. Anyway, I'll see if I can somehow get the Game Wave fixed up, and then I can stream that at some point. I don't have the full library, even though there's like 13 games in the system. Technically, I think there's only 12. One of them was an India exclusive, but it's a reskin of the launch, like the main launch title for the system here, so it's kind of a repeat anyway, so who cares? So I have, like, just under half of the library, but 5 games is not horrible. There's still stuff here. And no, I don't have the VeggieTales one. That one's the rarest one of the set. Are you surprised? It was the last one to come out, and it's the only licensed title in the system. But you're surprised that one's more costly? I just happened to stumble across these at a freaking thrift store once. I'd love to be able to play them, but the console's been borked, so, yeah. Should have gotten the console at the thrift store while I had the chance, but someone saw the value and probably scooped it up and did something with it. But they left the games behind. So I at least got the games. And then the console I did get still had the bundled-in game sealed, so I have 2 copies of it, one of which is pristine. So that's also neat. I am missing one of the remotes, though, but, you know, but it could be worse. Could be worse. I doubt more than 3 people are going to play anyway, and if we do want to have more people, I can always keep an eye out for the purple and orange remote expansion pack thing they did, where you can put the 2 extra remotes. Like, you know, 3's probably enough. It'd be nice to actually be able to use a damn thing. Plus, I would say it would be a good opportunity to actually use as a DVD player to show off DVD game stuff. Because I do have a few DVD games I'd love to play, but, like, then copyright becomes a problem. I don't want the stream to get shut down because of copyright problems. It's like I have Deal or No Deal for DVD. I do have this one, like, DreamWorks game. I have Trivial Pursuit. Of course, I've seen it, but that's even more of a problem, I suppose, with Caliber, since that's never being played here. If anything, if I do DVD game stuff, it would just be like little filler bits. Like, if there's a day where I can't stream, I'll just upload a thing of me playing a DVD game to back up stuff I can do. Because I can edit that, and then if it causes a problem, I can just re-edit and be fine. So, who cares? It'd be nice to be able to open up more potential content to stream, you know? Just things for the future. All I freaking need to do is replace a single capacitor. Problem is I know nothing about capacitors, and I don't have a soldering iron anyway, so... Even if I could, I can't. I don't really want to give it to a repair shop or anything, because they probably won't know what it is. So, not really the best sign there, I suppose. I could keep my eyes out for another one, maybe, but it's prone to the same issues because this console's been around for so long. Like, you never know when it's gonna friggin' get the bucket. So, It's things like that that make emulation a good thing. So that way you can actually keep running these games even when all the hardware dies out, because that's just kind of that's an inevitability with technology. It just burns out eventually. Sometimes you can fix it, like you can replace a battery or replace a capacitor, but sometimes it's just gonna, you know, break. And it's done. You can't play your games anymore. You're sad. You fill up a freaking shelf of nothing now. It's like, it'd be good to keep playing the games I have, but, you know, it's not going to be a guarantee. Problem is, I want my emulators to be coded by people and not by AI. So, you know, I want it to actually work without causing potential problems. I feel like I could trust people who are actually making it themselves over an AI who could go rogue and hallucinate things, as they are known to do. So, it's not reliable. I don't trust it. I still did something like that twice in high school class, middle school class. 'Twas scary holding something that hot. That's another reason why I don't want to do it myself, because I don't want to burn the frickin' motherboard. And I feel like I would by total accident, and then, well, we'd be fucked. Because you're never going to be able to replace a motherboard of this damn thing. So, like, there's a high risk when you have no experience. I can't do this sort of thing. That's why I wanted my uncle to do it, but like, you know, he's busy. He was halfway across the country at the time, and I asked him about it, and he didn't know what the hell it was, so like, he's no help. Like, I don't know what to turn to. So, right now, just kind of sitting here on a table being decoration. So, like, maybe someday I'll get the dang thing fixed and, you know, everything turns out okay. Also, let it be known, I don't really have the steadiest of hands, so, like, given the fact that I'm, you know, holding something that would potentially burn and basically destroy the motherboard, and there's a lot of thin areas where the connection happens, Um, Needless to say, I probably shouldn't be doing it myself anyway. Even if I knew what I was doing, like, I'd just be too shaky. Like, I don't think it would go well. You know? I'm not the type of guy who does hardware stuff for a reason. I can do a little bit of coding in software, I guess. Though mainly I've used my coding knowledge to do archipelago randomizers, I guess. I haven't even coded the actual, like, I've only coded a manual. I've basically just modified a checklist more than anything else. I can program logic, but I can't program an actual mod for a game. I don't know how to do that crap. If one of you wants to make a game that has archipelago support, I would be glad to help him make the AP world. I just can't connect it to anyone. Someone else has to be in charge of the Lua. Which I guess would fall back on him because he knows more about that than I do. And he absolutely fucking hates doing it. Like, I'm generally better on the software front than I am with hardware. Not like there's much of a difference in terms of skill. I'm no major software developer. I would love to make a Game Wave emulator myself, but I can't do that. Like, at best, I can make the logic for a randomizer and give you a sort of basic, shitty website. And, like, nothing else. Like, that's my current limit. I'm sorry. I guess I've messed around in Python a little bit, but unless you want me to make a function that makes, like, a little increasing timer thing that inevitably shuts itself down for a fucking recursive loop thing. I'm like, no. Don't. I'd have to be more knowledgeable on how this shit works if I even want to have a chance. So, I don't know. Maybe I should learn to code at some point, like, properly. Not by some college course or something entirely separate, but still somehow related, I guess. Like, so sit down and learn a freaking coding language. But I don't know where to start with that. I feel like if I want to learn any coding language, I think I should stick with Python. I feel like that one would be the best for me. I think I've messed with Python more than the other coding languages, so I at least have a little bit of a head start in that regard. So there's that. Maybe JavaScript. I've done JavaScript stuff as well. I think Archipelago uses Java. So JavaScript is the difference, I guess. Technology's stupid. Like, I'd love to be able to make my own little programs or games or something, you know? Follow in the path of the mighty Wanye. That'd be freaking sweet. Maybe give him a little help on rat work. That's the game he's working on. Yeah. Even from a young age, I've always kind of wanted to make games, and I've messed around with, like, ROM hacking Mario World before. But, like, you know, I've never made a game from the ground up. I tried doing Unity stuff once, and it just didn't work out for me. I was trying to make, like, a little, like, I don't know. I was trying to make something kind of along the lines of the dinosaur game on Google Chrome. But no matter what I did, I couldn't get to register when I was in the air properly, so I'd have, like, a freaking moon jump. And then I gave up. I couldn't even spawn consistent obstacles. Like, I wanted to fix the jump first, and then it all fell apart. So, you know, maybe I'll learn Godot like Wanya uses. That'd help the most with him. But like, for general program creation, like if I want to take a crack at making a Game Wave emulator, I should probably do it with Python. Right? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know these things, and I don't think anyone gives a shit about the Game Wave. Except like the 3 active people in that Discord, one of which was running AI to do it for him, basically. Like, I'm glad you were able to inject a bunch of Bob the Tomato images into the code, but, like, I'm still not trusting your software. I don't trust it. I don't think you should trust it. Like, I'd rather do it myself and have it be kind of iffy, you know? At the very least, if I knew what I was doing, I could maybe clean up the code a little bit and make it more reliable and smooth and not vibe code it. But I feel like after a point, I might as well just recode the thing myself! If it already goes to the average of scouring through the code and cleaning things up myself, I might as well just do the whole thing. You know? It'd be overall better anyway. If you're really only using it to read memory addresses, you can do that yourself, right? I mean, people are able to do memory stuff all the time. Like, that's how half of the mods that exist even happen. Just people messing with the memory and finding out what links to what and being able to kind of hook things in there. And Archipelago or Retro Achievements does that shit all the time. They just read the memory to see you did something and then it triggers something else. It's like, okay. Something simpler. Here's the thing. That game I was making, I was using Unity in 2D mode. So I was doing it in 2D. But, you know, it didn't really go too well. Like, if I do want to do a sort of thing with a game engine, I do think I should go with Godot just so I can help Wanya out. You know? I think that'd be kind of neat. But, yeah. Fair. So, I guess I could potentially make it a side project to create a Game Wave emulator on the side, but, like, I have no idea what I'm doing for that. Unlike some people, I'm not going to resort to using freaking online AI chat stuff to do it. Because that's only going to end super poorly. And not just because I shut the AI down on him, because of the way he was using it to read memory addresses or something, you know? There was a point where I was trying to make a Sonic ROM hack and mess with assembly code. I was able to make the ending of Sonic 1 have the 7th Chaos Emerald. And it looked correct, too. I couldn't fix the bad ending for Eggman juggling the emeralds, but I made the good ending work, which is something. So I guess I can kind of do assembly, I guess. I don't know if that would help much, but I guess I can. At a very basic level, but it's possible. It's so much easier if we had the source code to, like, one of the games on the Game Wave, you know? But we don't have that! There's no decompilations or anything that exists, that sort of thing, like with a whole bunch of console and PC games, so, like, there's no real point there either. Hell, I don't even know how a decomp would work for effectively a DVD game. It's like, I don't know. I would love to make native ports, but, like, I've never worked on a decomp before. I don't know how that stuff works. Technology fascinates me. Like, dude, if we were able to, like, make, like, a full-on modding or, like, homebrew scene for the Game Wave of all things, that would be kind of incredible. But I have no idea where to begin with that sort of thing, and I don't think other people are willing to join in, so... It's not the best scenario. It's definitely a mountain to climb, but, you know. If I knew how code works, maybe I could do it. And even then, I'd be doing it basically by myself anyway, because the other person's probably just gonna keep using AI the whole time, and I don't want them working on it with AI. Don't do that. It's bad. Bad coding practice. Don't let the computer do it for you. It's gonna turn out horribly. Don't you realize that? You goofball. Another 3. This has actually been going well. One doesn't count really because it's already evolved, but it's fine. It's fine. Natures. Let's say we'll go bashful, calm, and lax. Sassy, naughty, naive. God damn it. Uncommon mark though. Put the moves on you. I probably should phrase that differently. It's not being able to detect. They get to detect when you're in the air. Just try using a ray cast. The fuck is a ray cast? That should give you an answer. That should give an answer how that went. I told you I didn't know how this shit worked, so, like, are you surprised? 112. New segment. Yay. Number 113. Don't you know 13 is an unlucky number, though? That's why it's 113. It's not 13. It's not unlucky. Alright. No 3 segment yet. Into the boxes you go. Save again. That's the wrong button. Leave that alone. We're not going there. Okay, goof. Alright. Creative mode. Our fried filet. Don't get a smoked one. Get a fried one. Sour. We'll go bitter this time to test it. We just saved. There we go. It's so much more simple. I love this. I should have looked this up before, man. It's perfect. It's freaking perfect. There's no better system. Alright. Draws a line and gets at the dimensions of it. You can tell when the line touches something. Ooh. Neato. Oh, it didn't work! I'm gonna have to reset. Damn. So bitter is the one that doesn't work. Okay. Sour works, bitter doesn't. Okay, so I guess we'll try a different combo. I get to experiment because I have the time to do this and I just saved, so who cares? I'm gonna double check. I just saved, right? I should be out here and this should be. Here. Alright, let's try again. Probably re-look up the particular stuff with this. We'll do sour and spicy this time. Man, at least I know sour does work with one of these combos. So at least it gives me something with it. Me mashing the button breaks the fade. The fade in and fade out breaks as I mash the A button. It's just so stupid. Alright, let's see. Does this one work? Sparkling, title, Teensy! Okay, something's up here. We'll just go back. Just check for collisions. I think I tried checking for collisions before and it didn't work. Maybe I was just doing it wrong. I don't know. We'll just go back with we'll do what works for this sandwich, and then we'll probably, you know what? Yeah, we'll do it one more time with the combo we know works, and then we'll probably do one more other random combo. It'll be over 2 hours by the time we're done. But who cares? We haven't done this in like months. We could stand to this. We could stand to do this more often. We need to. Use salty and it worked, right? It'd be pretty wonky if I find. Yeah. It is kind of strange. I don't trust it. Whoa, that was weird. Speaking of collisions being weird. The wiggly bread of doom was, whoa, balance on the fillet. Note to self, look up the particular shenanigans involved with this sandwich and keep notes. Maybe also start working on getting other recipes going. See, this one works! So sour and salty work together, but sour and bitter and sour and spicy don't. So sour still is a problem, just not as much of one. So that's good to know, at least. Science. This at least works. That's all I care about, that it works. Alright, here we go again. Back to the loop. But yeah, I don't think you would know too much about it. I don't think you've ever been involved in a decomp project, but how does that all work anyway? How does making a decomp work? So I find that stuff pretty fascinating. I'd love to get involved with one, but like I have no idea if any of this works. So, yeah. Like, if I could find some way to bring GameWave games to PC without doing vibe coding shenanigans, because I don't trust it. I don't think many people will. It'd be nice to give it a shot. The problem is I don't think we have any of the source code for anything GameWave related, especially because it's so, you know, casually forgotten. People just it obviously didn't latch on, and anyone who talks about the GameWave really knows it for the infamousy of its whole story. You know, the whole marketing in the evangelical crowd, which is why we got Veggie Tales on it of all things. It's like that's something. Like no one really cares. I don't blame him. You know, all these little small side consoles that no one ever heard of, that happens for a reason. And not all failed or bad consoles are going to be as infamous as something like the Ouya or the Stadia or something, you know? So, you know. There is a YouTuber called Rerez. You might know him. He's the one who does the It's Just Bad series of videos. He reviews games. Turns out that the GameWave server that I'm in, apparently he found that too a few years back as he wanted to do a video about the GameWave for his channel, which would definitely help with spreading awareness of this console and probably would lead to something good that didn't involve AI. But the problem is he wanted to get his hands on the full set of games and he didn't know where to turn. And it seems he didn't really get any help for it. And I think he's just been he's not active in the server anymore, and he's still there, just kind of waiting for something to happen, I guess. I think he may have been hoping to have, borrow a console and the full set of games from someone for a bit. Because otherwise you're paying a surprising amount for the full set of games and the console itself. And again, especially because the VeggieTales game in particular is extremely rare. And, you know, because the only licensed title is the only title that has any particular worth, really. You know? So it makes sense why it's, you know, higher price and everything else and why it's so rare, but you're not going to find many listings for it, and if you do, it's going to be a bit more on the expensive side. Makes sense. So I don't blame Rerez for not wanting to get involved in that. I hope that GameWave video does come into fruition at some point, because he has done videos about consoles like that before, because he did one about the Hyperscan. That's the one with the cards, back when Toys to Life was a fairly common concept, like the Skylanders. And then there was the, I think he did a couple videos on the Soulja Boy consoles, which were just the typical bootleg console crap. He's done a few videos in that sort of regard. And I think the GameWave would fit right up his alley, and he does a good job! I love his videos. But, you know, because the stuff with the GameWave kind of went nowhere, he had to kind of drop the video for GameWave, and that makes me sad. I'd love to help in any way I can, but, you know, I only have some of the games, and my console is kaput right now, so unless he knows a guy who can solder a capacitor, I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to be much help. I know he's not hearing this anyway. He's not watching my stuff or anything, and even if I did mention it in that Discord, he's not anymore. He doesn't care. And if I dare do the evil sin of pinging him all starstruck, he'd just leave the server and block me. It would end horribly. But, like, let it be known that I wish I could help in terms of that video. But I also just need help myself in order to get the console to run again, so I guess we're both at a bit of an impasse now, aren't we? But yeah, he does good videos. He does a good job. He did I haven't checked his stuff in a while, but I think he was doing a series of he's doing a series of reviews that were kind of like more investigation focused. He was treating some of these games like they were like SCPs. Like a person would be kind of like he or his friend, like in character, would be kind of like in like a solitary room with the game, playing it and noting down observations. And it was treated as like I wouldn't say like a crime scenario, but like definitely more towards like learning about an SCP more than anything, I feel like. It's an interesting concept for a series. I think last I checked, he had like 2 videos in that series. He's probably done more by now. I should check. Like, it's cool. He does good stuff. He does good stuff. But yeah, consider this a re-res leak, I guess, for a video that will never happen. You probably found the server the same way I did, just looking up info about the game wave, just found the freaking invite link. And then there it was. Yeah, there it was. It's generally quiet there. There's just this one person who's new to the server, just called Banana Man, shows up and just freaking vibe codes an emulator. That seems like a good use of our time. Man. It's crazy that I'm passionate about a console I've never played because I have the thing and it doesn't work. Like, I am currently showing major LARP energy with this thing, but even I know it's a friggin'... It's just an oddity. Like, it's not really anything that worthwhile in the long run. It's just kind of there at best, but like... I still think it deserves to be preserved to some extent. I first heard about it because there was... I told this before, and like you were here for it, Vix. I sometimes just look up DVD games to see, like, oh, like what DVD games have people played or reminiscing about and everything, and then I came across this one, like, stream channel I don't fully remember the name of anymore. I did a thing with, like, Shrek Bingo and other various DVD games, and it was cool. And then YouTube recommended me a stream of them going and do some of the Game Wave games, and they had a whole little history segment in there about it, and that's how I first found out about it, and now I'm kind of more directly involved in the very tiny community based around this stupid thing. It is neat. It's just a neat little thing. I like it. And that's what matters. I like it. So yeah. Again, I make a promise to you all here. I will get this thing fixed, or I will otherwise make a thing that will make these games run on computer. And then I will play the games I have. And then we will have fun. See how stupid this thing is. Shout out to this one guy I also don't know the name of. He's done like long play videos showing off every game on the Game Wave with no commentary. So if you want to see how all the games work and you don't want to wait for me to figure shit out on my end, that's there for you. These games have been, I guess, visually documented enough. Just not in terms of like anything else. We have videos of people playing the games. That's the best you're gonna get outside of a documentary showing the business practices of the company. And also, if you live in a European territory, you're also kind of screwed into playing it because this was NTSC, baby. It was straight up Canada and America. That was it. Except for a very limited India release, which had the one game. I wish I were... I mentioned it before. I wish I were kidding. Last desperation move. We'll just try to sell it to the most populated country on Earth. Let's see how that works out. It did not work out. It did not work out there either. They only released the one game there. So of course it didn't work. Aw. At least you tried. Yeah, I don't think the console has any sort of like infamy anywhere near the levels of the Ouya or the Stadia, but like, yeah, no, it's something. You know, if anything, there's a chance. There's a chance I could get the D-pad involved with the Game Wave. Because they've done a little series about consoles before for like Christmas stuff. But they recently did like the 31 Days of Saturn or something, where they play a bunch of Sega Saturn games for a little bit. Of course, they did a series on Ouya when it was shutting down. They did a series for the SNES and NES minis. They one series about the 32X. So, like, you know, Rick of the D-Pad's already pretty knowledgeable about failed consoles and the small libraries of such. I feel like the Game Wave might be up his alley for something they could do for a series if, you know, he were to get his hands on the whole thing. I think it'd make for a funny little D-pad series. You know, he'd be probably stuck in a similar scenario to Re-Raz, where it's like, don't have the console, don't have the games. If I get the console, the thing's probably gonna freaking break, and the VeggieTales game alone costs like 3 times as much as the other games. And I can never find any fucking listings for them. The end. Probably shouldn't bother Rick about this now, though, because he's currently busy on a business trip. It's gonna last until August, so, you know, it's probably best not to bug him and that sort of thing. Maybe like a casual mention, but like, don't bring it up for the sake of the channel. I do want to give a shout out to the D-pad as well, because Rick's kind of been doing this thing lately. Again, it's going to be on hold until August because of his business trip, but he started doing a thing where he starts leveling up a Rattata to level 100 on Route 1 in Pokemon Red and Blue. I forget which version in particular he's playing for, but it doesn't matter. What matters is he catches a Rattata at like level 2 and then starts training a dang thing up to be level 100. He's 30 hours into it. It's projected to be 300. He's like a tenth of the way there. It's gonna last. It's gonna take freaking years. But it's kind of the equivalent to what I'm doing here in a way, where it's just him going around just this one little chunk of the game, trying to do a thing, and just become this kind of casual, just talk in the chat type scenario. And like, good on him for doing that. I don't have the will to. Like, this is probably less tedious and will take less time, assuming my luck isn't completely garbage. Look, good on him for having a long stream thing like that. But yeah, Rick is known for doing kind of things like that. I mean, a lot of their basis of the D-pad channel is them playing through entire series of games. Sonic, Zelda, Mega Man, Metroid is almost done, Kingdom Hearts. At one point during the latest Rattata stream, he's like, I should be going back and playing some games we played, like little bits of before, like when we played a lot of games for Smash Brothers. Because he was doing a thing where he was unlocking all the trophies in Melee. So he played every single game that would unlock him a trophy in Melee, or had some relation to a character in Melee. And I think also Brawl as well afterwards. It's like, he played Pikmin 1 for Olimar, back when he was doing the stuff for Brawl, because he fairly recently got the last stickers, I think, for Brawl. It took him forever for that. Like, he's the type of guy who can handle, like, super long grinds like that. But, like, I mentioned if he wants to go back and play the rest of the Pikmin series to call it the Plucky Let's Play. You're like, That's actually a really good name. I'm gonna note that down. So, I might have somehow influenced a new Let's Play series of his that I guess started with him playing Pikmin 1 for Smash Bros. Brawl. Okay. I didn't think I was that much influence, but whatever. Now we need to get Rick involved in the community asyncs, and then we're golden. I know he does archipelago stuff. He plays a lot of Zelda for those. Just gotta get him involved with that, and then woo. I joke, but highly recommend the D-pad if you're willing to watch like entire series of every single game in a certain franchise. In fact, outside of like the last chunk of post game for Mega Man Star Force 3, he and a small group of his cohorts. It's mostly just been him. He's been in almost every single video. It's mainly him doing this stuff. But he's gone through the entirety of the Mega Man franchise to the best of his ability, including fucking like Tiger Electronics watches. Like, he's thorough, dude. He's very thorough. I think all that's left is just the last bit of post game for that, and then Cool Override when that comes out next year. He's probably gonna go back to playing a bunch of fan games. Because at one point, like, he played Mega Man 8-Bit Deathmatch. He's played. I don't think he's played Mega Man Unlimited yet. I know that's getting a sequel. It's pretty cool. But yeah, he's played the demakes of 7 and 8 to be more in the NES style. I think he wants to play 20XX at one point. I've never played it. It's very much inspired by Mega Man X. Probably should try it at some point. We'll see. If we're not gotten our shiny at the sandwich, how long do we have left in this thing? 10 minutes. Any shinies? The map. Wrong button. No. My luck has dried up. Unless I'm a fool and drove past me like a fool. Like the fool that I am. I will stay fool until it stops sounding like a word. Maybe I'll say it like Antoine and go, Fue. And then be eternally laughing because funny voices are funny. I like sad I am. Sonic Saturday morning. I'm not sure that's my favorite Sonic show, but it's definitely up there. I'm going on tangents again. I'm doing it again! So, yeah. Game Wave in the indeterminable future, I suppose. It's gonna be fun. I'll get it fixed eventually. Maybe I'll work on some big project. I port everything to PC through some miracle. Don't know how I'm gonna start with that. I don't know. It's not exactly my forte. But, God damn it! I hate the hitbox on the Dudunsparce so much! Why is it so damn big? I'm not even touching you! Get out of the way! Go away! Let me get my shinies! Alright. Well, this has not been going great on this sandwich. I think I burned out my luck on the first two, but, like, it was bound to happen. This is about the luck that I normally have. Maybe a little bit better, because I usually only get like 1 or 2 per sandwich. I think it makes sense this would happen eventually. And with the three at once and 2 sandwiches in a row, followed by... No, not followed by... Predated by the freaking 553 encounter Mawile with no shiny charm in ZA. I think it's safe to say my luck dried up a while ago. Yeah, it's, people say this is probably the best way of doing the shiny hunting for Dunsparce now. Especially considering the buff spawn rate of the Switch 2 port. Actually, wait a minute. I shouldn't have been running Miraidon. I think it's better to do this, because if I walk around like this, more spawn. Because I'm not moving away super quickly. So they have time to show up. I'm an idiot. Well, this should help somewhat, I suppose, right? Imagine if but then none of the sandwiches give you a shiny? Oh god. Like every shiny still has to be within the typical odds of maybe the shiny charm at best. That would suck. Thought for a second that was shiny. That was the lighting fucking with me. The lighting keeps doing that. The weird glow of the crystals makes me believe that the friggin' Dunsparce are shining when they're not. You're lying to me. Stupid. Again, be glad I'm not doing Tandem Mouse. And trying to get a 3 segment of that, because that would be a nightmare. I would not be able to do that, dude. I cannot handle that. So, yeah. Yeah. I forgot how bad the graphics of this game are. Oh yeah, this game looks like shit. This game, man, definitely does not look like something that should be on the Switch. Definitely gives the console a bit of a bad rep. It gives Game Freak a bit of a bad rep as well, but also I can't fully blame them because it's a Pokemon company trying to push these holiday releases so damn much. I'm just glad that Winds and Waves is going to be next year and they didn't try to force it to be this year, because that probably would have gone terribly. I know how that was going to go. I know it's going to go. What was it in? I think it was a dust particle fucking with that time. The dust was in just the right spot. My brain blends the colors, makes me think, oh, it's pink, get it! Oh, no, it's not. It saw always manages to look worse than I remember. That's how it gets ya. You start to vaguely think of your good times in the story, maybe getting some good shinies. Maybe you load in the game and you see the freaking N64 legend. And you're just sad again. You're like, wait a minute, I remember now why I stopped playing this trash. Looks like shit, runs like shit, but at least it's good for getting shiny Pokemon, I guess. Yay! So stupid. Well, I will say this. At least I once again got a freaking shiny with the birthday mark on it again. So I rolled the 3 in 25 chance on top of the shiny odds. Go me. I did it. At least it is in the old Switch version of Arc Survival Evolved. It's 15 oil paintings a second. Oh my god. Man. Like, I'll appreciate people trying to bring stuff to Switch that was definitely not going to run on Switch, but my god, I sometimes wonder if they really should have tried. I'll commend the effort, but, you know... unfinished oil paintings, I should specify. Yeah, I get you. I understand. It just looks bad. It runs like shit and it looks all blurry. Some games have the freaking make-up frames. Just create them themselves outside of the game just to have some vague idea of a smooth visual. And it looks like dog shit. It's like those settings that freaking you get a new TV for your grandparents and they don't switch it outside the freaking store mode where they show it being ultra smooth, like 120 FPS, when like nothing on TV's higher than maybe like 60, usually no higher than 24. Like every single one of those frames is some like AI smoothing algorithm garbage. That if you dare pause the image, it's super smeared. It's like interpolation, right? That's the term for it. It looks like shit. It tricks your brain and thinking it's nice and smooth and looks great. But like, if there's like a sudden cut between a certain scene, or like you pause at a certain time, you realize, wait a minute, this thing's all blurry and covered in artifacts. It looks like shit. Oh, a trick. It's all a trick. They get ya. Makes it look better than it actually is. Then they made that shit interactive. How about if you want your games to look good and run at 60 FPS, you actually make your games optimized. That probably helps. The Switch being underpowered isn't the entire source of the problem. It's definitely part of the issue, but like, it's not the full thing. Western Game Dev was here. How can you tell? 325 gigabytes. Imagine trees popping noses in their full low poly amount. Wait. This message was definitely autocorrected. I cannot read that very well. Hang on. My grammar is yes. Imagine trees popping noses in their full low poly and about have the range that... Okay, so trees at full poly at about as far away as the Pokemon are spawning in here. And they spawn way back there. Doesn't seem very good. I don't know about you, that doesn't seem quite good. I think this is pretty bad, actually. Speaking of bad, I don't think we got a single shiny. So, for the first time in quite a while, I think we're gonna be resetting the game. Gotta get that Herba Mystica back. Sorry, Iron Valiant. You're not getting a battle with me today. Nice try, buddy. Alright, this will be the last sandwich of the night. And hopefully this one's good. Maybe it makes up a little bit for this last one. At least we know this recipe still works to some extent. So, that's good. Part of me thinks that next time I do this, I should probably grind for Herba Mystica. Because I'm kind of starting to run low again. Not smoked, but fried. It's like 3... 6, 8 guaranteed sandwiches. That's enough for like 2 more streams of this. I'm using one of those now, actually, it's 7. That's still probably about 2 streams away. Assuming no resets or whatnot. Like, that's enough for like 2 streams. I could use more, and hopefully not get more sour. Because sour has been very much unhelpful. Very unhelpful indeed. I don't like it. I don't like it. If it was any other Pokemon, it'd be fine, but because I'm trying to use freaking normal power to get Dunsparce, of course it's gonna turn out bad. Oh well. There's only so much I can do. Here we go again. The final sandwich of the night. The next week, we go to Kirby. I'm so excited to play Kirby in the Forgotten Land again. It's been so long. It's been so long, dude. Chakram Cutter, the second stage, where you throw 2 cutters, is better than the frickin' can opener by a long shot. It's my favorite copy ability in the frickin' game. I generally underestimate Cutter in Kirby, but like, Forgotten Land is the one exception where I'm like, holy shit, this power is amazing! And then they made it so there's 2. There's 2 of them?! Yeah, I used Chakram Cutter to do the hardest boss rush, and it was so fun! It was so much fun. I loved it. I can't wait to do it all again on stream. It's gonna be great. In fact, I haven't played a Kirby game on stream since I think was it Return of Dreamland was the last one? Because I think Tilted Tumble was before that. Imagine trees only finally loading in their full low poly forms at about half the distance of Dudunsparce are spawning. Okay. That makes more sense. Yeah, that is pretty bad. It's getting to me. I'm leaving the proper bounds because I keep thinking I see something up here. I'm losing my mind. I've been talking about the game way for too long. What do I talk about now? I don't know, Kirby right back at you being partially lost media in English and no one seems to give a shit? I could go on a freaking half-hour tirade about that again. Don't get me started. The things I think about that literally no one else cares about. I'm holding up the knowledge and freaking lost media search for Kirby right back at you pretty much entirely by myself. And my god, my back aches. I'm old! I'm quite elderly! Funny Turtle Man from Undertale 2. Anyway. We'll give you time. We'll give you time to write. I understand you type a little slow with your viewing circumstances. So. I will see your result in due time. You know, I'm still not against the whole idea of potentially adding eggs to the Dudunsparce stuff. Like, I feel like that'd also be like a major pace breaker as well. Like, it'd be nice to have like a little bit of, you know, a little bit of a difference. But, you know, I was expecting to remember that. I only know some of the memes for Deltarune. I've never played it. And I will admit I'm not the most interested in it. And it turns out I'm not the only one who's been disinterested in playing Undertale and Deltarune because of the fan base. So, at least I'm not alone in that. Like, I think it was Rick who actually said that himself, because he was also in a similar boat. So, shared experiences. Yeah. I watched one A play Undertale at least. Those VODs are long gone. Only a few clips remain, sadly. But you know, one of his freaking like, I want to say 7TV emotes on Twitch. There's a little Migos dance as a reference to that. Because when we first saw that, we lost our minds. And it was just kind of a thing for a while. They just kind of just show up. Yeah, that's one of the series that's pretty much long gone in terms of VODs. Doesn't exist anymore. Which is sad. Would have been a nice thing to revisit. I want to say that Wanya was doing a neutral route. He was definitely not doing the genocide route because I don't think he was fighting Sans. But I don't think he went full pacifist either. He might still have his old save files, so I can just ask him, but yeah, it's not worth the effort. There's more Discord for a community for MMO Nickelodeon had using that I was trying to make playable again. Ooh. That's neat. You love to see revival projects like that. You love to see it. So I'm glad people have been bringing back Club Penguin. That was amazing back in the day. Then Disney got it, overly monetized it, the thing died, they replaced it with this stupid mobile app garbage. It's also dead, I think. And then Disney has just been doing the whole thing where it's my IP to sit on and do nothing with. So, it's up to fans. It's up to fans to do it. One of the many neutral routes. Wanya did do a neutral run, I believe. I don't remember which one. I don't remember what characters he killed or not. I think he would at least try to make an effort to mercy some of them. I don't remember. There was at least an effort. I don't think he went full pacifist. Could be wrong. Could be misremembering. What do I know? It's also been like 4 years since he streamed that. And those VODs, again, are gone. So I can't check it. Also, I can't tell how much of this is you having the slow typing speed and how much is you having the stream delay. Thus is the trouble with typing on a mobile device that is less than optimal. Mom is making a lot of noise upstairs again. I think she just got back with supper. Little birthday treat. The big birthday celebration isn't going to be until like, a weekend. Not this weekend, unfortunately, but like somewhere later. Or like the weekend after, or maybe after that. That's how it usually goes. Just because just scheduling everything with the family, things don't really line up very often. My birthday doesn't have to be a really big thing or anything. As much as I'm making jokes about the fact that I've streamed Dudunsparce 2 years in a row for it, I feel like it's just kind of along those lines of what really should be a thing. It's like, here's me going for shinies, just being able to chat with you guys. We can, I guess, celebrate. It's not the main focus, but like, it's a thing. It's kind of a footnote more than anything else. Welcome to adulthood. I mean, at least trying to finish my message before responding to more recent topics. Which is nice. I'm glad. I'm glad I haven't put you in a scenario where you're trying to type something out and then I change the topic of something and you either erase your message or like copy it somewhere and then the brand new one. And I'm glad I'm not making it too hard on you. I'm glad it's not been too rough. Yeah, I do love me some good old preservation and revival projects. I just wish I could do more instead of just being a spectator for them. Because, I'm just kind of here just watching and judging if AI is used mainly. I'm not really doing anything to contribute. I don't know how any of this shit works. I don't code. Not yet, anyway. So, like, what do you expect me to do about it? I'm just more along for the ride than anything. It'd be nice to contribute. I just can't. I don't have the know-how. I'm surprised there are people who do, because holy shit. Again, some of these, like, decomp projects are kind of amazing. But a lot of the ones that exist are done with, like, a dozen or so people at minimum in order to actually be out. Because from my understanding, even with a group of that size, it still takes a full couple of years in order to decomp something like Twilight Princess. So, like, you know... I just wish I could be a bit more proactive with this sort of thing, you know? Especially if it helps with, like, more niche stuff like the game live. I'd be glad to help. I just don't have the skills to do so. Doesn't mean I can't learn, but, you know, it's not the optimal setup, I guess, to actually help at all. Also kind of a similar boat when it comes to Kirby Right Back at You Lost Media, because I didn't actually watch the show on television growing up. I didn't watch those channels growing up, so I don't have any home recordings I can check. My family, if I was doing, you know, TV watching at home, it was either PBS or Disney. And that was just kind of it. Like, Cubo on NBC was the one exception. That was just because VeggieTales was on it. So, like, that should tell you something. I guess there was also Smile of a Child as well, which is also since shut down fairly recently, too, which is really sad from a nostalgia, but, like, you know. It means I can't really do more to help with the Kirby Right Back at You search than bring people attention to it. I don't have any home recordings myself I can check, so... It's not like I could actually do anything more than just be like, I'll just check the Internet Archive once a month and hope that someone has happened to dump their home recordings of it online somewhere. Which has worked in the past, apparently. So, you know, it'd be nice to be able to be more proactive when it comes to some of these revival or archival projects. I just, you know, don't have the means a lot of the time. Things just don't line up. And it's unfortunate. The crazy thing is, people only really care about the English dub of Kirby Right Back at You because of the memes. But, like, I think even with that, there'd be enough to actually have people care to at least convince Nintendo to re-release the English dub again in full for once. Or maybe get Discotech to get the rights to it somehow. I don't know. Someone's gotta. Right? How many memes there are of the dang thing, and the fact that there was a reanimated project for one of the episodes. You'd think that'd be enough eyes to have people be like, it'd be neat. But no, I guess preservation and archive and restoration, no one gives a shit. We got our memes, that's all we need. Who cares if Paint Kirby's only appearance in the dub is half missing? Just watch the Japanese version because it has the original music from the games. And later Air Ride because it brought a lot of the music from the anime to that. And Checker Knights. Da, 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 da. I'm not singing the song. Mainly because I don't want to get stuck singing it for like a full minute and a half. I'm a person on the internet. I don't care about the nostalgic memories of the English dub. It's garbage. Just watch a Japanese version that's never been properly translated into English. And fan subs are also incomplete. Yeah, great help there, guys. Can't even bring the box set freaking Blu-rays from Japan over because I can't understand Japanese and they're not subtitled. Can you tell that this kind of thing makes me mad? Can you tell I talk about this to a lot of people? Can you tell I have passion about something that most people really don't give a shit about? Welcome to me! This is how I am! Why is it always the niche things or things that otherwise people don't care about? That I'm the guy who's like, hey, look at this thing. I want to make sure it's restored and people can experience it in the best way possible. And people are like, this other thing or the original version is better and who gives a shit? Who cares if Nintendo hasn't re-released half of the series in over a decade? Who cares if only a quarter of the series is available on physical media? Anytime I bring up that fact that Right Back At You hasn't been fully re-released in so long, and only a quarter of it's on physical media, people are just shocked. Every time I bring it up, people are shocked about that fact. As if it's common knowledge that it's been released in full. What? Why? Like, I get it. A lot of 4Kids series from back then haven't been fully released. I get it. Like Sonic X, Ninja Turtles 03. Like, I get it. A lot of them have been. And I understand that Right Back At You is in a better spot than something like, what was it, like Funky Cops and the F-Zero dub. Like, those are full episodes that are missing. Like, it's Kirby! It's Kirby we're talking about here! Come on! I'm the only one who gives a shit, really, about this whole thing. Don't let the flame die out! Most of my memories came from the initial archive, and that archive hasn't even been improved on that much since. It's like, they've improved the quality of a couple episodes, found a missing clip for one of them, and found some alternate airings of a few. Most of which are in VHS quality anyway, and some of which have a very annoying buzz in them because VHS be like that. We've just settled for better than nothing, I guess, mentality, and that makes me so upset. It makes me so upset. Why? Why are you like this? The internet obsesses about the most, like, stupid shit sometimes. But, like, you'd think a freaking Kirby dub that's been a source of multiple memes would have at least some more care put into its preservation. You know? It can't just be me, right? It can't just be me. Come on. Like, if I knew there was even like a DVD, like an official DVD set, like I would pre-order that shit. want to be able to have the whole series in as good quality as possible physically, and I can watch whenever I want. Now it's relying on internet archives incomplete and looks like shit half the time. I like Kirby, okay? Can't you tell? Can't you tell I just love the little puffball? And yes, I understand the Japanese version is better and it has the original music. It's not butchered and everything. I get it. But, like, it'd be nice if there were subtitles. But there's not even a complete fan sub of the series, and I can't understand that shit. So not even the people who say the Japanese version is better even seem to care that much. What a world we live in. I'm not bitter, it's just the Herba Mystica. Sir, you used sour and salty. Well, I'm salty too. And there's a sour taste in my mouth, I guess, from the whole thing. Sure, sir. Sure. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. I don't even know what I'm doing with these bits anymore. Part of me wants to have one of the streams for Forgotten Land to be Kirby and the Forgotten Anime dub. I want to call one of the streams that, but like, I feel like that's pushing it a little far. Like, complaining about it here, where I'm just meant to be talking, and it's just meant to be kind of the filler arc of these streams, like, fine, it makes sense. Like, Kirby's not filler. Like, yeah, it's related because it's his franchise, but like, you know, I should be focusing more on the game more than anything. I guess I'll talk about unrelated subjects during, like, downtime, or if I'm repeating a stage or something. Hence why I talked about a freaking dream I had for a solid 15 minutes during Donkey Kong, but, you know. There's a point. There's a point, you know? There's a point. I find myself super annoyed by the original subs or better stuff on several occasions. They can get so annoying about it sometimes. They can. That's how Puritans are. And I will admit that the original version of the anime is just overall better, because 4Kids in their overall wisdom definitely butchered it. You know, their typical censorship and rewriting the script to add more jokes where they maybe don't belong. It's like, I get it. But like, people still like the Sonic X dub. People like the Pokemon dub. It was done by the same people, and they were butchered in very similar manners. Do we need to bring up the fact that in the English dub of the Pokemon anime, Ash just suddenly has the Tauros from the Safari Zone because we never got that episode in the States because of guns? Was that the one where Ash had a bunch of guns pointed at him when he entered a building? I don't think that was that couldn't have been the episode where James. I don't even want to say it. I don't even want to say it, but you know what I'm talking about. I don't think that one was a Safari Zone episode, but we never got that episode because, you know, it doesn't make sense to remove that for a children-focused anime dub. And yet the one episode of Kirby Right Back At You was creepy otaku culture and it still made it through. I don't know. They weren't exactly consistent with the whole thing, I'll tell you that much. Hell, people often complain about the fact that English text was removed from a lot of the 4Kids dubs, even when they were in English. But that's because how 4Kids did things is that they would make like a sort of template for their dubs, where they would kind of like make like a default standard version that removes everything that could potentially be from a different language as like a baseline for every dub. So every dub of a 4Kids thing, they're all basically the same basis. From there, they can iron it out further by like changing the script more, adding extra audio, or cutting other episodes. Like, for example, in Italy, the episode A Dental Dilemma, which did not air until very late here in the English dub, did not air at all. They skipped that episode entirely because they were scared about the messaging involving dentists. They were scared they were going to have kids be scared to go to the dentist. That's why we got it so late in the lineup, even. Like, almost every single dub of Kirby Right Back At You uses the same baseline. So, if one country isn't okay with, like, guns in their media, even if we're generally okay with it because of stuff like Looney Tunes and Tom and Jerry having it, it isn't allowed in the dub. If text is in English, only people here in the States and in England are going to understand that. Gotta remove it for everyone else and have that be the baseline. It's weird. But that's just how they did things. And as a result, it made a lot of their dubs feel a lot more butchered in comparison to the original. And it's why they have the reputation they have. And that I will give them the original dub is better crowd. I will give them credit on the 4Kids dubs because they are kind of Doesn't mean they shouldn't be. It doesn't mean they should just be completely forgotten about or be unable to watch. Especially when, again, stuff like Pokemon and Sonic are still readily available. Officially. Hell, a lot of it's even online for free through official means. Streaming services, official YouTube channels. It's crazy. You think Kirby would get that treatment, but no, I guess Nintendo's super stingy about it, and Sawgrass maybe a little bit butthurt about what 4Kids did. Even when Nintendo even releases any of it at all, they stop at the halfway point and move on. So, like, even they feel ashamed of the final product, I think. I think they want nothing to do with it outside of it's a thing that happened. Here's the first episode on the Japanese Blu-ray as a bonus feature. It's a little footnote in Kirby history. And that's a general sentiment for everyone, I guess. Except for me. I'm the different one. So I'm a freaking crazy nerd. That's what I get, I suppose. That's what I get. The way I am. To my knowledge, it also caused some problems how dubs were handled this day. Don't get me started on some of the controversies involving certain dubs. Even outside of a freaking translating localization nonsense standpoint, like, some of the voice acting could be kind of terrible. Like, it's just adding fuel to the fire, but, like, it doesn't mean that an English version shouldn't exist or anything. You know? And, you know, given that Crunchyroll exists, you can't even depend on subs. Can't depend on subtitles either. We love AI. Restrictions on editing things cause issues, now the dubs and masters. Yeah. It doesn't help. Either gotta make things super awkward or... Actually, I think that's kind of the only way out. Like, you kind of have to hope it turns out like Speed Racer. Everyone's talking like this, and we kind of have to match up the lip thoughts somehow. It sounds super awkward, but I guess it works. I can't even keep up the bit. It's too fast for me. but then, like, it's not even like you don't even get the best people for it half the time, and the acting is cringe. And then translation can be iffy. Entertainment doesn't really get the care and attention it deserves. It seems it really doesn't. Ugh. It's actually pretty disappointing. Some more so than others, but that's a bit of a somber note to end this on. My luck has dried up, pretty much. Still got a shiny though, this last sandwich, so I'll take it. I was hoping for maybe one more. I think we generally broke about even for normal, so I think the strategy works about the same as usual, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. I think this will be the general strategy I use going forward. Maybe there's some better way of optimizing it, I don't know, but I don't think I can up my odds anymore. I think I'm at max odds at the current point, because I have the Shiny Charm, I have level 3 Shiny Power. I don't think I have any other way of boosting my odds. Unless I want to also add eggs in the scenario, and, that just slows things down even more. Alright, my last Dudunsparce of the night. I'm gonna say... Impish. Sassy. No mark. Alright. Put the Hyper Drill on it. Just kind of a given that the voiceover can be bad. This translation would only really be getting a fraction of the budget which the cast guy is in. Yeah. It is definitely a problem. I don't think they really care to solve it too much, because, like, why spend extra money to make a thing better when passable is good enough? Welcome to economics and capitalism and whatnot, and why take care to have the best final product you possibly can? There's a lot more that goes into training for voiceover work in Japan. Yeah, I hear they're actually very, very particular about that sort of thing. Like, I hear that they're so particular about voice acting in Japan that they will actively make sure in any way possible that they can avoid a recasting. It's why you have so many voice actors that go on for so long in Japan. It's because they make absolutely sure that they keep it consistent. Like, it has to take them going through some major life event to stop them, I feel like, sometimes. So, like, good on them for the effort, but wow. Anyway, no 3-segment. That's gonna be it for tonight. I'm gonna go have myself some supper. I believe pizza is on the menu. And, yeah. Next week, we start Kirby and the Forgotten Land Switch 2 Edition. I'm still not entirely sure how I want to go about it. I think I'm just gonna play the game from the start all over again and maybe play the new stuff as it comes. I don't think I should leave it up to a poll on this one, because I'm gonna be playing the full game anyway, and if I'm gonna do that, well, I could save it all to the end though. I don't know if the Star-Crossed World stuff is a side story or if it's technically an epilogue. I don't know. I have, like, no info about it whatsoever, so I have, like, no basis in how to do this. I know the game unlocks each level individually as you progress through the game. It's like 1 or 2 per world, I think. So, it's not like it's that much stuff, but I don't know. We're playing the full game regardless. It doesn't really matter. We're playing the whole thing. That's gonna be another, like, that's all, folks. That's gonna be another, like, 3 months of stuff. So, like, it doesn't matter. I also do, to some extent, have to wonder how much actual understanding was being set place in the perception of the original voice actor. Well, slightly unrelated, I do like the fact that Sonic's Japanese voice actor is an English professor. So he tries to put in some English stuff into the Japanese versions every now and again. I think it's cute. But yeah, that's gonna be it for tonight. I'll see you guys next week for Kirby. I'm so excited, man. So excited. I'm gonna go have some pizza. I'll see you next week. Don't. Face the camera again. No, me. Weird me from Paldea. Look at the camera. There you go. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Why am I ending as like a 1A stream? Bye bye. Bye bye, everybody. Bye bye. Oh man.